What's up, everybody? Look, I'm recovering. Don't I look pretty? Not really. I need a haircut and a shave. Um, Today we're gonna battle Ick. Ick just ran rampant through my fish room here, and I'm gonna show you how I'm taking care of it. We're gonna go through the temps, that kind of stuff. This is multiple tanks, so it's expensive to cure. I ain't gonna lie. Should have been smart in the beginning, and I wasn't. We'll also talk about quarantine in this video, why it's important. But let's go take a look around, see what's going on. Alright, so Ick has traveled throughout the system here, or different tanks. All these tanks that are up here are all an individual, they're not tied to a system like these are, like these three tanks right here drain into that tank, which drains down into the sump. Those two tanks right there drain into that one, which drains into the sump. So they're all connected. I don't have Ick in any of those, thank goodness. I don't stick nets in those often, any of that. Now, like all these other tanks, they're all independent. I don't have any Ick on that side of the fish room at all. I had some 10 gallons up here that I moved because I just wanted a tank, or a system rather, that I could quarantine in and medicate. If you guys will check out Aquarium Co-op, he'll show you the 3 meds to use for quarantining fish. It's erythromycin, Ick-X, and the other one is General Cure. Now I buy this stuff in bulk because I have so many tanks and so many fish constantly going through here. So yeah. So let's say I take my net. This tank right here has Ick. African bushfish here. Well, he's cleared up a lot. Tomorrow I think is our last treatment, so Ick may be off of him completely. But I had 3 African bushfish in here, and then the Brilliant Rasboras. The Brilliant Rasboras I noticed the Ick on first, as well as one Autocat, and I moved the Autocat to another quarantine system, into a 10 gallon. So once I noticed the Ick in the tank, I was like, dang it, I've already pulled fish out of here, and then I went and caught fish out of this tank, or not this tank, but that one, or that one, I can't remember, it was one of the two. So I had Ick, and I'm like, oh man, if I was smart, I would have had this system already set up. This is just a bucket that I use. You can buy the sanitizer on eBay. It's pretty inexpensive. In here I just have methylene blue, and it's thick, so it's pretty much going to kill any bacteria, funguses, infection, or infectious parasites, that kind of stuff, because it's such a concentrated deal there. Whoa. Yeah, he crashed into me. That was Cholo Baby over there. It's been in some of my videos, so if you're looking for Cholo Baby, you'll find him somewhere. Alright, so another important thing, sanitizing your nets, obviously. Like I said, you can use the methylene blue, or there's other things like on eBay, that kind of stuff that you can get to sanitize your nets. So while treating it, what do we need? Well, we need a tank, right there. We need the water in the tank, and we need that water temperature. Woo. Let's use something like this, for example. You see I'm running this one at 81. You're going to see some of these tanks up at like 85, 87. I'm going according to what the fish can handle. I don't have heaters in these tanks. You can see there's no heater in here. So this room is hot. We're standing in here and it is hot. So let's see this killie right here. See the Ick on him. Usually you're going to notice it on their fins, like their tail, the dorsal fin there, anal fin. He's got Ick. This fish, this killie, all these gold ring teeny weenies that are in here, teen weenie, I gotta pronounce it right or else Cholo Baby gets mad. So all the gold ring teen weenies don't have Ick on them, but there's Ick in the tank, so I'm gonna treat the whole tank. I'm not just gonna remove one fish and then say, okay, well, I got rid of the fish, so the Ick's gone. It doesn't work like that. You do need to medicate. You can't just move one fish and then the Ick disappears. Eventually, and you usually notice it within about 4 or 5 days, your fish are going to have Ick on them. So, By bumping the temperature up, what we're doing is we're actually speeding up the life cycle of the ick. So when you see all those little white spots, where do you go? Where do you go? Oh, okay. So when we see all the white spots on this fish and I'm treating the tank, I can't kill the ick that's on those fish. That white spot that you see is actually like a capsule that the ick is surrounded by. So it's protected. When you're actually killing the ick is when it falls off the fish, goes down into the substrate. Now the medications that I'm putting in there are going to kill the newborn ick. So I speed up the life cycle by bumping the temperature up in the tank. It falls off the fish, goes down here. They breed in your substrate or on the bottom of the glass or the surfaces if you have like bottomless, what are they called? Bare bottom tanks. Jeez, get the words out. And so the medication that I'm putting in there is killing that newborn ick that's coming up to come back onto your fish. So you're gonna notice, you know, a few spots here and there. The next day you're gonna notice like 10 spots on your fish. The next day you're gonna notice more and more and more. That's because you're not using the medication. You can't just bump up the temps and then assume it's gonna get rid of it. This is another tank with ick. Noticed it on a few fish in here. Took some of those out and they are in a 10-gallon. It's just easier for me to monitor them. But you know, a fish like this is extremely expensive. So not an easy fish to just take out and put in a 10-gallon. That fish there is about 5 inches long. Not gonna work that way. So anyway, let's move into the quarantine system. I'll show you guys what's going on in there and the 210-gallon and how I did that. A lot of glare on these. There's not much I can do about it. Just it is what it is. I take Sharpies and I write on my tanks. And you're gonna see, you know, like dates, my last treatment date, that kind of stuff. I have those up there, these down here. I have fish in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks out of the 10 here. I have shrimp in that one, and shrimp in that one, and I have a dog in that one. Wait till go right there, baby girl. So, my new fish that just came in, like these Coolie Loaches, they've already been treated. We're done treating them. But we're gonna observe them for, you know, 3 or 4 weeks. Make sure that nothing else comes up. So, using the erythromycin, I can't pronounce these things, General Cure, and then the ICX. Those are the 3 meds that we're using in here. You guys will see a lot of videos from Corey at Aquarium Co-op. He does the same thing as far as treating these for quarantine. As soon as they come in, boom, they're being medicated. I'm doing 30% water changes on all these tanks every day. So daily I come through here, I change out 30% of the water. Cool, cool. So this is quarantine. I always have like a little quarantine tank, even if it's 1 tank. But when you're doing quarantine, don't buy fish and then 2 weeks later decide, oh man, I need to get some more fish, you know, and then buy those and then put them in there and then expect that the fish that you put in there 2 weeks prior to still be in that process of being quarantined. It's not gonna work. So when you quarantine, take your batch of fish, put them in there, quarantine them, medicate them. Do that for 4 weeks. Well, you're gonna medicate for about 4 or 5 days, but make sure that you quarantine them for 4 weeks before you take them out and then put them in your main system. It's a good way to lose a lot of fish. All right, right here we have a 210-gallon tank. You can see it's filled halfway. I had ick in this tank too, so all the ick is gone now, but I had ick and then I also had a bacterial fungus in here, so I treated this differently. I treated this tank with ICX as well as Prazipro. The Prazipro is what's going to help you with that bacterial fungus. So those 2 meds are what I'm treating this tank with. Now, if I was to treat 210 gallons, I'm going to be spending a lot of money. So we dropped this down to half, and I'm treating right now about 110 gallons. I got about 5 gallons in the bucket and then 105 gallons in the tank. How did I do that? I just marked the tank. You see that red mark right there? And so I know if I go from here to here, that's 30%, and then there to there is 50% of the water. I'm sorry, yeah, 50%. I'm trying to get my brain straight here. that's how I'm treating this tank. So if you have a huge tank like this one's 7 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet, 210 gallons, and you're able to do this. You know, I have a pump down there, and then my inlet for my filter is down this on the other side. So I'm able to drop the water level down. If you have a hang-on back filter, I'm sorry, you're treating the whole tank. There ain't no way around it. So, yeah, there's oddballs in here. All right, so this heater has a tank in it. I'm sorry, this tank has a heater in it. See the light on back there? 300 watt heater, Eheim. So when I temp this tank, my ideal temp is 85. I'm at 84.9, which is pretty dang close. So I can speed up that ick, get it off the fish as soon as I can, and kill all the newborns that are trying to come back up and hurt my fish. All right, these guys in here, this is just one of those things where I heat the room. So they're at 81. That's at the top. Down here, that's actually at 78. Oh, these are at 75. So I think it's because I had that door open right there. So anyway, that's how we're treating these tanks. The higher the temp, the faster you're going to get rid of the ick. So the less time you have to actually medicate it to get rid of it. So once you notice all the ick is gone off your fish, follow the directions on the bottle. You're going to add the carbon back to your tank, get all that crap out of your tank. Do about it'll say 25% water change. I do 50, and then I wait about 3 days, and then I come back and I do another 50. So that's how I'm treating ick. That's how we're getting rid of it. Hope this helps you guys, and we will talk to y'all later. Peace. You want to say bye? You want to say bye, you big goofy? Yeah. You're such a weirdo. Later.